Hi, this is Vagabond investors talking about the economy again. If you're like us, you gotta be pissed about the way the Fed is acting on this crisis. We're gonna tell you how you can survive and profit on this crisis. You know, there are a lot of us out there who want to be more than just no-thinking sheep. We're here to help you out, to share what we have learned as investors and professionals in the financial industry. Consider this post as a message from investors to those who want help. How can an average guy like you and me survive and profit from this mess? Let's go on and talk about the big changes that are taking place right now.
Big changes do happen.
They happen very gradually and they go unnoticed by most people who focus on weekly performance results. They're hardly predictable until the symptoms of ongoing change become acute.
Example, take oil price. Between 1998 and 2000, oil price tripled, but nobody paid attention to it, even though it outperformed Nasdaq index.
When big change happens, the rules of the game change. A new set of threats and opportunities arise.
We are going to tell you these changes. We hope that we, the YouTube community, will do better than those without this information. We hope that you can help us share this knowledge with other users of YouTube.
For example, the crisis in the banking sector was gradually becoming evident before it hit the markets. Autumn 2007, when Northern Rock had a bank run, not many people reacted. Even when Bear Stearns was bailed out, most people didn't get it. Even when Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were nationalized, some people still didn't take it seriously. It was only after Lehman Brothers went bankrupt that it really hit the investment community.
What the bleep? The financial sector is toast!
Yes, my friend. It has been for a long, long time.
As investors, we have to adjust our thinking. When the rules change, we have to change our thinking and actions. The best part is that big changes provide huge opportunities to become wealthy. It's not only about surviving, it's about profiting from change too. To every move there is a counter. Example, just a few $100s on put options on banking sector would have made you tons of money. That's the power of seeing the pattern and the courage to act on it.
The rules of the game are changing. Every time they change, you have an outstanding opportunity to become wealthy. Pay attention to these big changes that are on their way. There is no more powerful force than an idea whose time has come.
Big changes always create victims and victors. Do not choose to become a victim. You can choose to become a victor.
The reason we are talking about this is that you have a choice. Let us help you and the YouTube community to survive and profit on this. Help us share this information with other users.
You can't control what happens in the market, but you have absolute control over your response to what happens. To every market move, there is a counter.
So what are the big changes of the 21st century? Bursting of the Nasdaq bubble in March 2000, commodities bottomed out in 2001, the great housing boom, and of course the end of it, the end of a 20-year-long global equity boom, and the collapse of the credit bubble. These are all changes that have already taken place on this decade.
How many of these did you capitalize on? I doubt that anyone got them all. If you are a professional investor, don't tell me that you didn't get any of them.
We have been talking about these changes ever since 2002. We've held seminars, written books, and tried to reach as many people as possible. We have to stand up. We have to make sure that we will never follow the herd anymore. If you follow the herd, you will end up stepping in shit. And that is exactly what the recent Wall Street is all about. We have to raise our financial intelligence so that we never have to worry about if this happens again in the future. That's the only way that we can make a difference.
So what is the most overlooked big change?
The most overlooked and misunderstood change is the bursting of the credit bubble. In my opinion, it is as important as the crash of 1929. The old rule said that in the United States, credit growth can outpace GDP growth. Under the old rules, for 20 years, three forces boosted asset prices: strong credit growth, falling commodity prices, and low interest rates. The big change, the bursting of the credit bubble, was very clearly signaled in the market when the total collapse of the financial firms happened.
Again, did you profit on the panic in financial sector? Just a couple of $100 could have made you tons of money. It's no rocket science.
As I said, I think it is as important a milestone as 1929. The crisis is not nearly over yet. What we have seen is the first wave. More waves will come. The US is hit. Rest assured, Euro area will be hit too, and so will the emerging markets. Many people will be stunned by the outcome of this change. That is when the best opportunities to become wealth are presented. That's when you and I have to take action.
A big part of gross domestic product is consumption. It means simply that you and I spend money. As people retire, they have less money to spend. This has a big impact on our GDP.
Americans may not like the sound of that, but the US may not be able to maintain the economic dynamism of the late 20th century in the 21st. I mean, sooner or later, wishful thinking is going to crash into financial reality.
In a few years, the biggest baby boom generation in history begins to retire all over the world. Do not think that you are entitled to secure life.
Those of us living in the United States, consider this. 75 million baby boomers start to retire. Suppose each of them need $1,000 in Social Security and Medicare. That becomes $75 billion each month. That's approximately the cost of one Iraq war or one AIG bailout each and every month.
I have news for you. Most governments don't have financial resources to keep their promises. Of course, the Fed can always print money and give it to the people. But it would only lead to hyperinflation, and eventually the average person's savings would be wiped out.
What about those people who have a 401k? Let me tell you something about a 401k. It is estimated that 80% of people who have a 401k, the plan is not adequate for them. Inflation is eating the purchasing power of their plan all the time. It's on the mercy of market forces. In my opinion, it's a very risky investment. I mean, a single market crash near your retirement could wipe it all out. You may not have time to wait for the recovery.
What happens when people realize that their 401k becomes a 201k?
Again, those of us living in the United States, let's consider this. 75 million baby boomers start to retire. Suppose that 1/3 of them has a 401k and they take out $1,000 each month from their plan. That becomes $25 billion worth of securities sold on the market each month. Now, what do you think is going to happen to the value of their investments once they start doing that?
As entrepreneurs and investors, it's not our job to predict the future, but as always, your response to the future is on your hands. Becoming financially intelligent so that you can become financially independent is optional. You can choose to become a victor rather than victim.
For those of you that choose to become victors, we share tools and strategies to becoming wealthy. We share opportunity insights for big changes. That means profit opportunities, and we share our lifestyle on our website.
What's your response to these changes?
As to me, I'm going to be an investor for the rest of my life. I better be a damn good one, because investing is my future. If you're like us, if you're pissed about the way how things are, if you're just tired of being led by the brainwashing powers of Wall Street, you should join us right now. Help us share the word. We have to step up. We are on our own. I mean, comment this video, share this video, visit our blog, whatever. Help us share the message.
We are not alone. Remember, to every move there is a counter. It's not too late yet. But you have to act now.
And down goes the financial sector.
I bet those guys are pissed.
Nah, they're just scared shitless.